Hello, and welcome to my Onmyo guide. In this guide, we'll be going over the Onmyo skill tree in its entirety. The goal of this video is to make these alternative and accessory gameplay options a little more accessible for newer players, particularly the friends that we try to bring in the game and then get overwhelmed with all the different systems Neo 2 has to offer, and then they ultimately quit. We don't want that, so without further ado, let us begin by going into our game settings. Now you'll press back or select whatever is your controller type and go into settings. In the basic game settings, you can turn on or off your headgear. I'm going to turn it off. And then we can choose this automatically used acquire locks of hair. Usually it comes off. We want that on. And you can press R1 or L1 to go through any of these. You can also turn the display values on your damage and stuff like that here as well. Now we're going to exit out of that and go into the menu settings. From here, I think your default number of item shortcut sets is 2. We're actually going to switch that to 2 to 3 to 4. That'll allow us to use our Jitsu items a little easier. So now it's time for the absolute Onmyo basics. For starters, each story mission, or red mission, starting at the Beast Born of Smoke and Flames, where you meet the blacksmith, will have 2 one-time locks of hair. 1 ninja lock of hair and 1 Onmyo lock of hair. Using these will grant you 1 skill points in each corresponding skill tree. Another, simpler way to get the skill points is to just use the Onmyo or ninjutsu. Typically, dealing damage through these items is the fastest way to gain proficiency and skill points. However, purification, water, fire, and lightning talismans, as well as hemlock and galnot broths, are both effective tools as well. When you have earned a skill point, you'll have a notification telling you, similar to when you get a weapon, shifling, or samurai skill point. After you spend the point, you need to go to the shrine and select Ready Jitsu. From there, you can equip and unequip both ninjutsu and Onmyo items. From here, you can set them to your shortcut bar, but if you forget, you can find them in your usable item tabs in your inventory. This is also where you can find any unused Onmyo or ninjutsu locks if you forgot to change your settings earlier. Or if you didn't change your settings earlier. So, go to Shrine, go to Ready Jitsu, and you can do this in the open world or in the mission. Here, I want to grab Barrier Talisman. So I'm going to find Barrier Talisman, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and get 5. I'm going to press Y or triangle and set it to my item shortcut. Pressing R1 will give you the other tab, or RB, whatever you got. And there you go. Now it's on. At any point you are unsatisfied with your particular setup, you can go into the dojo and reset any of your skill trees. This will cost quite a bit of gold if you do this too often, and in the early game this can leave you broke. But redoing a couple quick submissions can generally help you recover if you find yourself in a pinch. So just go to dojo and you press Y or triangle, Y in my case, and you can just reset. This costs a lot because I am Dream of the Neo. I am not Dream of the Samurai. Dream of the Samurai doesn't cost very much gold at all. So keep that in mind. So as far as Onmyo you should get. So what should you get? For Onmyo, the best starting option is most definitely the Purification Talisman. However, I have compiled a quick tier list of powerful Onmyo at the start of your playthrough, and an endgame playthrough as well, and a priority list, so to speak. So, without further ado, let me tab out of the game real quick. And there you go. So, we have in red, circled in red, you want to grab those as soon as possible. And in orange, those are nice things that'll definitely help make the game a lot easier. And then in yellow we have quality of life buffs, and definitely will help that. You won't be able to grab every single one of these immediately, as there are prerequisites to um, some of these. Like you can grab some right off the start. However, then you have to do a dojo mission for there's a novice, adept, and veteran mission, and then there's also an ultimate, which unlocks the two red mystic arts. So you definitely want to get uh, those dojo missions done when they arrive. And just every time you do a red story mission, uh, check see if the dojo has unlocked anything for you. Usually, every region or every other region will generally unlock something in the dojo. So, um, let us go with an early mage setup. So, this is a tier list of what I find to be the most powerful um, Onmyo at the start of a beginner playthrough. Okay, especially for a new player. So I'm going to actually just read it off, and in another video, in other subsequent videos, I'm actually going to cover each specific jutsu. I might cover like-minded jutsus at the same time, and for the sake of ninjutsu and Onmyo, they're both considered jutsu. So don't don't think I'm talking about ninjutsu. This is an Onmyo video. I'm talking about Onmyo. So in the S tier, from left to right, we have the purification, the barrier, and the sloth talismans. Going down to A tier, we have extraction, divination. I'm just going to call these element shots, um, sanctity talisman, and then purity shot. Okay, and the B tier, we have the steel, the protection, resistance, the stop talismans. Then we have the blessed bolt, the element talismans, devigorate, life seal, and life leech talismans. In C tier, we have oasis, rejuvenation, cutting blast, gust, arch yokai, carnage, weakness finder, and I'm going to call these triple shot. And in D tier, we have sensory overload, um, shockwave, Pleiades, guardian spirit, and shikigami. And this is going to be very, very different from what we get at late game. As you can see, in late game, we have in S tier. I'm going to read these left to right because I know in the Onmyo skill tree it doesn't have the icons, so that's why I'm reading it left to right. In the S tier, from left to right, extraction, familiar, carnage, guardian spirit, soul purge, soul release. In A tier, from left to right, barrier, protection, steel, arch yokai, and purity shot. In B tier, shockwave, purification talisman, key burst, resistance, luminous blade, spirit surge, and stop talismans. In C tier, impurity transfer, or impurity transference, my bad, blessed bolt, elemental shots, triple shots, life leech, shikigami, Pleiades, sloth, weakness finder, devigorate, life seal, sanctity, soul leech, and elemental talismans. And in the D tier, we have Talisman of the Fist, Shockwave, Overload Sensory, or Sensory Overload, my bad, Gust, Divination, Rejuvenation, Earthfolding, Wealthbringer, Oasis, and there's also another one. It's called Luckbringer. All right, and there will be more videos where I cover each one of these in its own video where I can do justice and explain the nuances of that jutsu. So I just wanted to give you a quick guide to what to expect. And here is the early uh, tier list. Definitely try to get these. Um, Definitely the A and S tiers. You definitely want to try to get those unlocked in your thing. And here's your priority list yet again. Just to go over that one more time. All right. I'll see you guys in the next video where I cover purification talismans. Thank you. Have a great day.